Hey guys, and welcome back to another video on the channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. A big shout out to everyone who liked that last video. Apparently it was jumping. I don't know, it was a cook up that I did and it's just got more views than I usually get, so I definitely appreciate you guys tuning in. In today's video I'm going to do something also a little different. This is more of a tutorial on how to get a vintage sounding loop or vintage sounding sample in FL Studio using just stock FL Studio sounds or sounds and VSTs. A lot of times in FL Studio you'll see people use like RC20 and plugins like that to kind of give it that real vintage soul kind of sound, and it sounds real analog like. But I pride myself on using just FL Studio native stock everything unless I'm like recording something. So I'm going to show you how I get that real soul sound and analog sound just using what we have here in FL Studio. If you do like these videos and you want to learn more, make sure you please just give it a like. It's absolutely free to like the video. Make sure you subscribe as well. It's absolutely free to subscribe and you'll see more videos like these. I do these type of videos where I do tutorials on just like chord progression and things like that, and I also do cookups, and I also do deconstruction videos. So if you like these videos, it definitely helps support the channel and it costs you absolutely nothing but a simple like and a simple subscribe. So please make sure you do that and I would very much appreciate it. Back to what we're doing here. What I want to do first is I want to go ahead and just bring this tempo down. I say maybe in 120 somewhere. So let's just 123. Let's go with that. If we don't like it, we can always change. That's the great thing about working in a DAW. Next thing I want to do is I want to go over here and grab my Rhodes piano. It's one of my favorite Rhodes piano. It's the Rhodes piano in the direct wave. Every edition of FL Studio should have this Rhodes. So if you don't have a fancy plugin, if you don't want to use like Flex or something that takes up a lot of CPU, you can just go over here to your packs, instruments, keyboards, and then right click on Rhodes and then send it to selected channel. It's going to open it up in your channel rack. And now we're going to open up our piano roll. Now in the piano roll, I know a lot of people tend to use those helpers, which I'm not against using helpers, but since I actually play the piano, in my head it makes sense to just leave the piano how it looks in the grid here, where all the sharps and flats are the actual sharps and flats. These little dark notes that you see here, those are all sharps and flats, and everything that's white are just going to be natural notes. I do want to go in the scale today of D minor, which is the exact same thing as F major, but it's going to be 3 semitones back. So if we count back 3 semitones from F, so we start at F and we count back 1, 2, 3, that's going to put us in D minor. Counting back 3 from the major key is going to put you in the minor key, and they use the exact same notes. The only difference is you start on a different note. D minor only has 1 flat, and that is B. That's a lot more into music theory, and I can give you some info on music theory. I can give you a tutorial on music theory if you like. Just leave that in the comments. I'm more than happy to teach you what I know. I've been doing music for quite a long time. But we're going to be in D minor, and we're just going to lay down some minor ninth chords, and then we'll move on to the next portion. We could actually bring that A back down. I like that. Let's bring this C down. Yeah, let's stick with that and kind of give it a little life. We'll go ahead and hit Alt S to strum it out. I like that real dramatic strum, and it also changes the volume some, but we're going to change the volume even more. Alt R, and let's just kind of play around with it a little bit, kind of bring them a little further away, something like that. Hit accept, and now we get this kind of live like strum sound. That just sounds good. That just feels good. Anyway, after that, we are good on the actual loop itself. We won't go too far into it. What I do want to do is I want to go over here to this pattern here, and in pattern 1, let's go ahead and right click on it, and then we're going to hit quick render as audio clip, and it's going to give us that audio clip. Now we got that pattern and it's right here, same exact thing. Let's go ahead and right click on it, and then we're going to send it to our audio editor, which is going to drop it right back into Edison. A lot of times you hear when they do it, it sounds as if they're doing a low pass on it, but what they're really, what we're going to do, I'm stuttering all over the place. Y'all forgive me. I'm going to keep that in here. What we're going to do is we're going to actually change the sample rate on this. So right now it's currently at 4400. Let's right click on it, and then let's go over here to the sample rate, and we're going to go down to, let's just say 2250 and accept. And now this is going to slow it down a lot, but it's also going to take a lot of that high end out without actually having to do a low pass or high pass. So what we're going to do from there is we're just going to send it to our playlist here. And now we want to make sure we put it on stretch mode. And I already have it set here. If you don't know how to set this, this is going to allow you to resize the clip right in the playlist. You hit Shift and M, and it's going to take it to where it doesn't change the size. But if you hit Shift and M again, it's going to highlight that. And once that is highlighted right here, you can actually move the sample like this, and it's going to shorten it or lengthen it how you see fit. And now we get this. Go ahead and hit normalize. Now you can do this by pitching it up, and you get, and it's going to put us back at that same kind of like pitch that we were at. Now that we have that, let's go ahead and left click again, hit Shift L. It's going to send it to the mixer. And now where the fun part comes in, first thing we want to do is just go ahead and load up an EQ real quick. And we are going to drop out some of that low end. So let's just hover over, scroll down, and maybe scroll down on that some. And let's just kind of pull some of that out. I actually think I want this to be at the regular. I like it lower there. Yeah, I like that. That sounds good. Let's go ahead and take some of that low end out. All right, and from there, we're going to add some more effects. Let's go ahead and load up Hyper Chorus. If you don't have the newest version of FL Studio, you might not have Hyper Chorus, but you can do this with free chorus as well. I'm going to go to the next setting here, just over 1. I already know that's the setting that I want because I do this often. And then I'm going to cut this delay up just a little bit, and I'm going to cut that feedback up just a little bit, and then I want that mix knob to be up a lot, actually. We're going to drown it out with that, and it's going to sound like this. We do want to go into our mixer here in this knob where the hyper chorus is at. Let's just turn it down. We'll blend that in to the taste that we want it to be. And now it's really starting to sound like it's kind of been recorded analog. It just gives it that analog kind of sound already. Next thing we want to do to it is I'm going to go to add on my mixer Effector, however you say it. And we want to go to lo-fi. And lo-fi is going to give us kind of like that staticky sound. So it sounds like this. You hear how it does that? So we're going to kind of give it play around with the settings here. See where we want it. It kind of gives us that static in there, right? And then we're going to go into our mixer and cut that down and just blend it into taste as well. Now, what I do want to do, actually, I want to kind of put this above it first, and we'll throw some reverb here. So let's go ahead and drag our fruity reverb just to keep it simple. It's moved. Here we go. Ever since I updated FL Studio, things aren't in the exact same place. Let's go ahead and turn that wet knob all the way up, dry knob all the way down. We'll just bring in a little bit of this. Let's cut that low a lot. And then back in our mixer, we're going to blend it in that way. So let's turn the effector off first. And then I like that. And then let's cut the effector back on. And now just to add a little bit more kind of flavor to it, I'm going to throw on gross beat. And I'm going to go to maybe like, let's see, I guess trance. Yeah, let's use it. We'll cut it down here. And then in the mixer, we'll also cut it down and just blend it into taste. And honestly, you can build more onto that if you like to, but that right there is what we like here. So in order to keep that sample and, you know, kind of remove all of these effects here, I'm gonna highlight this and I'm gonna hit Alt R, render that as its own thing. And now we have it here. So we can mute this, and this is what it sounds like. And something that I would do also with this, maybe even on the mixer, is add a fruity panamatic to kind of like move it left to right. And I'll kind of give you an example of what that would sound like. So I'll send this to the next mixer track, Control L, and then I'll just throw a fruity panamatic on that. And then we'll go with this setting here, the pan. And now you see it's panning right to left, left to right. Cut the amount up so we can really go far with it. And then just cut the speed up and see how we want it to sound. And what I'll also do is to get the volumes to sound more cohesive, I guess you would say, glue it together, I'll throw on a compressor. So just a fruity compressor here, and bring our ratio and up, our threshold down. We don't want it to attack right away. And let's go to vintage. And you can build off that even more. But that is just kind of like the easiest way to get it to sound like that vintage sound. We'll go to where we started with, which is this. And what we ended with is this. And that sample rate thing, you could do the sample rate higher. If you do it higher, it's going to add a little bit more of those. It's going to add a little bit more of the high-end artifacts to it. If you do it lower, it's going to take a lot of that out. Also, lower is going to make it a lot longer, and higher is going to make it a lot shorter. So just depending on what you want it to sound like, you can pick one of those. And that's also how you get a lot of that like chopped and screwed kind of sound. Instead of cutting out a lot of the high end, you just change the bit rate on, or not a bit rate, the sample rate on it, and you really get that sound. But that's all I have for you in this video. I hope you learned something in this video. If you did, definitely leave a comment. If you didn't know about this, let me know that I helped you out. It's really nice to kind of know those things. And if you want to see more videos like these, you can definitely check out some of the videos that are on my channel. But also drop in a comment what kind of videos you do want to see, because I'm more than happy to make videos that are going to cater to you and that you can actually learn from. And yeah, that's pretty much all I got for this one. But thank y'all so much for tuning in, and I will see y'all in the next video.